Terribly ironic being a biker when we're used to being at the front, and I'm literally at the very, very back with no opportunity to slip through. That'd be the height of cheekiness, wouldn't it? Well, that's the journey over with, 6.5 hours. It's a Stena Line ferry, but I bought my tickets with Tesco club card vouchers, which means I managed to get a £60 ticket for £20 worth of club card vouchers, which included a Stena Plus seat. So I had unlimited coffee and snacks for the duration of that journey, which means right now I've had quite a lot of coffee, shaking like Michael J. Fox on an Arctic expedition. I'm also bloody boiling. Walking down those stairs with everything on. Warm! I spy, with my little eye, an opportunity to get the f*** out of here a bit quicker. He who dares, Rodders, he who dares. This could be Rotterdam or anywhere, Liverpool or Rome. I was here just 2 weeks ago in my car, which I no longer own. I am now a motorbike-only traveller, which is quite cool, I suppose. Now, do I filter through? Is that allowed? Is that technically okay? I would say probably not. Though, I'm sure I've seen other people do it. Should probably stop the old recording though. See you in a minute. So that's that. Nederland. And across the border, behind me you see the port of Rotterdam. The largest port in all of Europe. Remember this, because there will be a test at the end of the video. So where to next? What I was thinking was that we'd mosey on up the coast a bit. Unfortunately, can't hang around too much because it is now 5 o'clock. We don't have a huge amount of time to get to Groningen before it gets dark. I've got a pretty handy set of headlights, but I still don't really fancy caning around in the dark on my first day out in Europe. So yeah, gonna head up the coast, maybe swing into the Hague, just have a look at it really, see what the fuss is about. And after that, I've just programmed into the sat-nav Central Amsterdam. What a cool old car. Old Dutch Volvo. So I've got no idea where that's going to put me, bit of a gamble there, but see a bit of Amsterdam. And they do say the most interesting things you see in your life are when you got lost. As the great Mahatma Gandhi once said, "F*** me, I didn't know that was there." Because I don't know all of the rules. Filtering, is that allowed? Overtaking on the back wheel, is that frowned upon? These are all questions that will be answered by whether or not I get pulled over by the fuzz. It's like a little Dutch ride out. Chappie behind me as well, look. 167 a litre for petrol, bloody hell. It's one thing I wasn't looking forward to. It looks like diesel's cheaper here than England, but petrol is more. I just sold a diesel car. Well, my library of coffee stories grew by one more episode recently. When I was driving the car over, I took the same ferry that I've just got with the bike, and on my way back, I purchased myself a coffee. And I said to the chap, "Hello, old boy, I'd like one of your finest large coffees, please." Because that's how I normally talk, this voice is fake. And he said, as you might expect, "With milk, sir?" And I said, "Oh yes, of course I'll have some milk, otherwise it'll be terribly dark and strong." Again, in my real voice. And then he proceeded to make my coffee using the machine that was fully automated, so there was no skill involved on his part, and handed me a latte and tried to charge me €4.79 for something I didn't order. Obviously, I was overjoyed at this, so I said to him, "Dude, what the flying f*** is this?" Because I am pretty aggressive. And he said, "It's a coffee with milk." I said, "No, this is a latte." I wanted a black coffee with a dash of milk. And we stood there and argued for 5 minutes over what the difference between a latte and an Americano with milk is. It was baffling, just how someone could be so bad at the only job they have. He worked the cafe on the ferry, that was all he did. I really do believe if you have a job, at the very bare minimum you should be able to do that job. Otherwise you really shouldn't have that job. So then, with his amazing conflict resolution skills, he said, "Okay, I'll charge you for a black coffee then," and reduced the price to a still extortionate $3.79. Obviously thinking he'd done me a huge favour, he was pretty chuffed with himself. Completely unaware that I bloody hate latte. I like strong, runny coffee. None of the foamy, milky, creamy, bloaty, fluffy, floaty, bloody latte nonsense. So I said, well, that's no good. You think you've done me a huge favour, and I am now yet more pissed off. So I just stood there until he chucked the latte down the sink with disgust on his face and made me what I actually wanted. So consumer rights prevail, and being a complete arse as well. I used to be all Hugh Grant about stuff like that. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. No, that's fine. No, don't worry. I don't want to put you out. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. But I've decided now I'm old enough that I don't give a shit. And I'm starting to find that quite often you do actually get what you want if you're just a bit cantankerous. So yeah, another coffee adventure. Tune in next week for the coffee adventures of AndyManCam! So now that the clocks went forward just before I came over, I'm really hoping that the sun's going to last a little bit longer than it has been of late, and I might be able to get there all the way in sunshine. Oh, that sun is delightful. Ah, missed a wave there. So of course I'm now regretting the camera that I've got just here, because bikers wave and I can't just slide my hand off the bars now. I'll get over it, me and my first world problems, eh? It was just dawning on me on the ferry crossing over, because it was a long old trip on a constant IV drip of coffee and biscuits. Well, I did eat a few apples, and everybody knows that an apple cancels out a biscuit. So technically I'm only 2 biscuits down, even though I ate about 12. Which that would mean I've eaten 10 apples, and I didn't do that, that's a lie. I'm going to have to get past this dude actually, he's the slowest roundabout user in the world. But yeah, it was dawning on me just how much of a big deal this is really. This is like the last leg on my big step into Europe. I'm over there for the foreseeable future after this, scary stuff. I've always thought about the idea of what it would be like to leave my home country, and now it's actually happening, I'm actually doing it. So I'm currently filled with just a mix of excitement and apprehension and just completely devout terror. I think all of which are good for personal growth. There's at least a V8 in that bad boy. 17 degrees, brilliant. Off you go, son. It wasn't a race. If it was, I fear I would win. Make you look a little silly. Ah, shit. That was a rackety bastard. Ooh, you rackety bastard. I do feel quite out of my depth. My German is coming along in leaps and bounds, so I feel quite comfortable in Hamburg. I've also spent a fair bit of time driving in France, so I know what most of the signs mean, some of the little eccentricities of driving in France. But the Netherlands normally just kind of pass through. No offence to the Netherlands. Just always had to go somewhere beyond your borders. This is actually the first time I will have ever stayed in the Netherlands. It's very nice. Then isn't everywhere very nice when the sun's out? Coventry even looks alright when the sun's out. Oh, if you believe that, you will believe anything. Coventry's only nice if you really, really, really like grey and you like concrete. If you have any kind of concrete fetish, get yourself to Coventry sharpish. Don't fancy filtering over there, that looks like tram lane to me. Thank you. You can go in the tram lane. Because if ever your bike was going to tram line, I think it would definitely happen when you're in a tram line. Nice saddlebags. The Binkelhofer was looking at getting one of those. Triumph America. Crazy thing I think about motorbikes is that from the front, you don't know whether you're waving at a foreigner, or a local, or an alien with a helmet on. It's only when you see the back and you see that the number plate's different that you know that you're welcoming tourists. I think is why bikers always seem so much more welcoming. Following him now, that looks weird. I do love a good cobbled street. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Hague. The Hague. Next stop, downtown Amsterdam. A spot of petanque of an evening, or whatever they call it here. I say, oh boy, pop out onto the gravel for a spot of bowls. Filtering in the country, I don't know if I'm allowed to filter in. Filtering not quite so easy with the bags on. But these roads are like driving on a pane of glass. It's just ridiculously smooth. It feels super grippy. No idea what it could be like in the wet. Which reminds me, I've just heard it is absolutely tossing it down with rain in Hamburg right now. That's not good news. It does mean I'm glad I'm not going all the way today, because this is quite a contrast, isn't it? Bloody hell, an hour to Amsterdam. Not quite as convenient as I imagined it was going to be. According to my compass, I'm heading southeast. That doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right at all.